Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru.
So I just want to say thank you for coming, Vaheguru, and also for touching on so many beautiful messages of equality and inclusivity in the Guru's word, and also for bringing in Kabir's Bani, Bhagat Bani, because I often feel that Bhagat Bani sometimes, as well as all the Gurus, but it stands for those people who are oppressed, the communities that don't have voices. So actually a lot of those messages that you spoke of what drew me as a Punjabi Sikh to the 3HO community, and this is where I kind of was called again to call on the name of God. So I suppose my question to you today is, in light of recent events that have happened here in America, the shootings that have happened, and really the message of inclusivity, global universality that is promoted via 3HO and the community that gathers here at solstice time. So on behalf, I suppose, of my LGBT family, brothers and sisters, really the Punjabi LGBT community, I suppose my question to you is, in your eyes, what place do we have in the Sikh Dharma as being people that are called to call on the name of God, and as people and as a community that is often oppressed, often doesn't have a voice, and most recently has been victimized too. So I come here with some brothers and sisters here today to ask you that question humbly and with respect.
Thank you so much. So just about a week ago, less than a week ago, so we made a video about the Orlando shootings, and we went down to the vigil in London that happened the night of Monday. Obviously, because of time difference, we found out about it, and then so we made the video that same day, and then went down to the vigil and spoke to quite a few people. Obviously, from the Sikh teachings, Guru is telling us in the Mool Mantra, they're telling us that God has got no hate, nirvair. He's got no hatred towards anybody, no enmity. So that combined with the Guru's teachings about what do the Sikhs want to achieve in the world. There's a quote that even myself, I only found out about it when I started teaching more about Sikhi. There's a concept called the Halemi Raj. Halemi literally sounds like halloumi, but it's not, right? So Halemi means compassion and kindness. And Halemi Raj is what the Sikhs are aiming for. So Khalsa Raj equals Halemi Raj, right? That's literally what we believe. That the Khalsa will rule in a compassionate way, and therefore it would be Halemi Raj, because Halemi Raj is what Guru Arjan Dev Ji is describing in Gurbani. So in Gurbani he says that Hun hukum hua meherwan da. They said the gracious kind Lord has now sent me the order. What is the order? The order is for a world based on compassion. Halemi Raj. Hun hukum hua meherwan da. And they say Pair koi na kise rniyan da. That no one should be persecuting or running after anybody else. Sab sukhali vuttiya. Everybody lives in peace. Eho hua Halemi Rajyo. This is Halemi Raj. A world where no one is persecuted and everybody lives in peace. So the God's will, as per the Guru, God's will for the earth is that kind of a world, right? And the Guru has created this army as God's army. The Khalsa is Akal Purakh Ki Fauj. That's what we say, God's army. And this is the mission of us as a Sikh community across the world. But you have to sort of understand, as the Sikh community, we as a community are waking up and trying to teach our own elders that Punjabism is not Sikhism. There is the best bits of Punjabi culture are actually Sikh culture, and the worst bits are the stuff that we don't need, and they're not part of Sikh culture. So since the British came to India, and I know we go back to the British, I'm from England, it's a bit of a painful recognition because the Queen's 90 and we stand up and be all, but the British, when they came to India, they probably had a bigger impact upon the Sikh, on the downfall of the Sikh philosophy than even the Mughals did. because with the Mughals it was just a straight out like, we're gonna fight you and it's gonna be a battle. So it's like swords. But the British, they were a bit more clever about it. They sort of went around and said, oh no, we're not in war anymore, we're like friends. What we're gonna do though is gonna kill all those Nihang Singhs. We're gonna kill all the people that are like the really educated people. We're gonna attack you from the inside, you know. And it was a very the way that they did it is actually changed the Sikh philosophy in so many ways. That in the last 100 years, we as a Sikh community are having to crawl back to where we were, and we've gone down. Took away the kingdom. The Sikh kingdom of Ranjit Singh didn't have any death penalty inside it. It's one of the only, you know, for 50 years in Punjab, from 1800s to 1850, there was a kingdom with no death penalty. No one was killed by the king. It's completely unique in India's history. All kings have been famous for just off with his head kind of thing, you know, but not in Punjab. So this idea was in our consciousness, but since then, 1850, the British came in and destroyed that kingdom. It's now we don't know about even Sikh philosophy. So I teach, like I said, I teach a lot of Punjabi people. This is what I teach Punjabi kids. And then when I first started doing talks 4 years ago, Benji, you might be surprised, in Southall, where I'm from. You sound like you're from up north in England. In Southall, I call it Kaljug Central. Yeah, Kaljug meaning the Dark Ages. It's like I live in the center of that, because there's so many Sikhs, about 15 Gurdwaras, and no one's learning Gurbani. And 4 years ago, I started a Sunday class to teach Sikhism, teach Japji Sahib. And at first, I thought, okay, the youth will come, you know. And I was surprised. People with white beards and, you know, old uncles and aunties are sitting there every Sunday. They come on a Sunday, they listen to the katha and they go. And it's in English. And I was like, why are they coming to listen to me in English? There's so many better people than me in Punjabi. And they just said, you know, you talk about things that sometimes people don't talk about that much. And it's based on Gurbani. And so we have to reteach ourselves our own philosophy. And so there is one of the worst aspects of, not the worst, one of the bad parts of Punjabi culture is homophobia, right? Homophobia is built in, and a lack of understanding of diversity. Transsexuals, people don't understand that. You know, in India, it's not just Punjabis; it's an Indian thing. It's the culture of India, and so what you get then is this kind of what you don't understand. People that are ignorant, like, you know, Midwest America, we can go there now, and you're gonna get the same thing. People who are ignorant, if they don't understand something, they just hate it, they just reject it without trying to understand. So what we're facing is having to educate people about what does the Guru say. So most of my friends who are even Amritari don't know this Shabad I just quoted you about Halimi Raj. The word Halumi was said by my friend who's Amritari. He's like, Halumi Raj? I was like, no, Halimi Raj. It's a different thing. And so we're having to relearn our own religion and what the Guru is saying. So reiterate, the Sikh religion and the Guru Granth Sahib Ji has no hate for anybody, and it says quite clearly that we should all live in peace together. So when it comes to something like, there's that Christian reverend, right? What's his name? He's kind of like an idiot. Sorry, I left that too wide open. He made a video about the Sikhs, and then he recently made a video when he said there's nothing wrong with what happened in the Pulse nightclub. More, you know, so what if it's 50 less? And he said pedophiles upon earth. So this is ignorance, right? You've taken pedophilia, which involves an adult imposing themselves on a child against their will with no consent, and equated that to homosexuality, which is two consenting adults, right? And not harming anybody. So this is, unfortunately, this kind of ignorance is rife across the world. And what we as a Sikh community need to do is start to explain to our elders what the problem is. Now, you'd be surprised that the two founders of, there's a Punjabi Sikh network called Sarbat. You would have heard of them, right? Yeah. So the guys that run that, Cam and those guys, I meet them all the time. Whenever I go to London at the parades, they're there. They come and talk to me all the time. And just recently, when we went to the vigil, they were there as well. So we're on talking terms. And they understand what I'm trying to do is actually to educate people and talk about things that really don't get talked about by people that sit on the Guru stage. You know, when people like dress like me, look like me, talk in the Guru stage, they don't discuss issues like this really. They don't want to get into controversy. Now I was going to put a caveat up. As a Sikh, I am bound to two things: Guru Granth Sahib Ji and the Guru Khalsa Panth. That's my Guru, and I'm bound to them. So I've accepted them as my leaders, right? That's who I accept more than myself. And the Guru Khalsa Panth, when it's the collective community. So I have to follow the Guru Khalsa Panth. The Guru Khalsa Panth has never talked about homosexuality, from my understanding. So there's no edict that I can point to and say, oh, this is what the Khalsa decided. So I can point to that and say, okay, this is why I follow this, because it's what the Khalsa decided. So when I sit here in front of you, I'm shedding light based upon Gurbani, but I can't give you an edict that, this is what the Guru, this is what the Khalsa decided. So on things like homosexuality, on things like transgenderism, on things like even abortion or divorce, I can't give you a Sikh view. I can only give you my view based upon Sikh teachings, right? So I don't speak for the Sikh community, as I'm not elected by them. We have a system to elect our leaders. I'm not elected, so self-appointed in a way. So I can't be out here. I can't tell you, oh, this is what the Sikhs believe about certain things, because there's no view made about this. There are views about other things I can tell you. This is the view about this, but I can't tell you a view about. So all I can tell you is that, from my understanding, somebody who is gay or bisexual or lesbian, gay, bisexual, because it's gone on. Sorry, I joke because of the fact that there's actually now a Q and an I as well. So it really confused me. I don't actually know what they are too well. But and it's like so anyway, LGBT, right, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender. We don't have an official view, but what I can tell you is that from the Sikh perspective, they should never be persecuted, and they should be able to live in peace, right? So when it comes to living in peace, how can we live in peace? Gurbani is telling us the biggest peace we can have is by we connecting to ourselves inside. The real sukh, the real santokh in this life, the real peace and contentment is to live a spiritual and moral life. So I have friends who are homosexual, and I tell them, you should definitely read Japji Sahib and read Gurbani. It's made for everyone. The Guru's for everybody. So Gurbani, the Sikh lifestyle, the seva, the simran, it's all for everybody. So I even say to people, because there's a bit of a misconception about Amrit and Nitnem, right? A lot of people are like, oh, I'm not Amritari, I don't have to do Nitnem, I don't have to pray every day because I'm not Amritari. But Nitnem is for everybody. And how I can just kind of point you that way, and where do I get that from? When you open Guru Granth Sahib Ji, the first thing you get is Japji Sahib, then you get Rehra Sahib, and then you get Kirtan Soila, which is basically your daily Nitnem, morning, evening and night. So if Guru Granth Sahib Ji is your Guru, it puts first things first, your daily prayers. So every Sikh should be doing Japji Sahib, Rehra Sahib and Kirtan Soila at the very minimum, right? Because Nitnem is for everybody. And Guru Granth Sahib Ji closes off with something you probably all know, is, when we sing the Shabad Thal Vich Tin Vastu Payo Sat Santokh Vicharo. In that Shabad, that's right at the very end of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, literally. So it's the beginning, the Mool Mantra, and at the end is Mundavani Mahalla Panjwa. And in there, Guru says, Ehe Vast Taji Nahi Jai Nit Nit Rak Urtaro. He says, this thing that I'm giving you, which is truth, contentment and contemplation, you can't leave this, you need it every day. Every day you need to put it into your life. So Nitnem is in every Sikh's life. So if somebody was homosexual and they say, what can I do as a Sikh? I was like, well, you should do Nitnem, you should read Bani, you should go to Gurdwara, you should go to Saz Sangat, and you should try and live a pure life and meditate upon God's name. And no one should hate upon you for being who you are.
So it's full members of the Sikh community as everyone else, essentially.
Yeah. So, I can't, that's what the Guru is saying. So, it's there. So that's what the Guru is saying to me. But then, like I said to you, I can't just decide this for myself. Like if I've got no power in that sense. Yeah. But we can educate. And a lot of the people that watch our channel, a lot of the youth that are watching it are understanding, okay, well, if he's talking about that, and then we explain the idea that it's consenting adults. But just so I can put another caveat, or not caveat, but another dimension to this. Many people are like, they come to a religion. In fact, it's just like Yogi Ji said, right? Just now in the talk we heard in the Gurdwara. It's like people go to a supermarket and they look in the ingredients. We would look for like sugar the other day. Everything. Is there got any sugar in this? And then I found out Paisa, and I was like, it says rehydrated cane syrup. And he goes, that's sugar. I was like, okay, sounds like sugar. It's made of sugar cane. It's just dehydrated. It probably is just sugar. So you have to read. So people are going to religions, and they've got like ingredients of like, oh, this is got, it's good for this, good for this, good. Oh, it doesn't have that, I don't want it. Next. And so doing this, right? And so when people are coming as Sikhi and they're saying, oh, what do you guys say about gays? And we say, well, we haven't got a doctrine as such, but you know, we're open to people, we don't have no hate. They say, oh, okay. Then they find out something else, but you haven't got this, I'm not interested. Oh, you pick weapons up? Oh, I don't want I want a peaceful religion. And the thing to understand is that Sikhi is trying to do something. It's here for a purpose, right? And the purpose is to change the world, to make it a better place, to make sure no one goes without food, to make sure no one goes without education. So langar is meant to be everywhere. So langar fights hunger. This is the purpose of it, right? It's supposed to be everywhere. And also, so when we say langar, the easy way to understand that is deg. Deg literally is langar. Now you've probably been in a Gurdwara environment where they said the words deg, deg, fateh, right? You've heard that? Deg, deg, fateh? Put your hands up if you haven't heard it, just put your hand up. Okay, if you haven't. So at the end of the ardas, which is surprising, I didn't hear it here today, but normally in every ardas it happens. At the end, after they say the dohira raj kare khasa ki rahe na koi, they do the bole, sonihal, sat sri akal. Then they say deg, deg, and everybody says fateh, and they say pant ki jeet raj karega khalsa. Those three are our slogans, like war slogans. And the first one, deg, deg, fateh, literally has these three words, right? Easy to say. Deg, deg, fateh. Deg means food for everyone. Deg actually means a sword, and it stands for freedom, protection of everybody. So food for everybody, protection for everybody, and fateh means victory, and victory all over the world. Yeah, deg deg jag mein do chale. All over the world, there should be food and freedom, right? Including, you know, the LGBT community should be free of any kind of persecution. So this is what we want to achieve in this world, right? And that's what I want to make sure that people understand, that this is our mission, you know, to give people food and freedom.
Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru.